Okay, thanks for coming. Go back to the Help Coin channel and the family that owns XRP. Thanks for all your help. I know I sound like a broken record, but it really did bother me a lot that you guys take so long to come back, watch movies, and make wonderfully directed what comments. This has just been really too much for Pia. Thank you again. Of course, keep supporting and these changes might keep coming. However, as we head into Tuesday morning, we are still seeing the same purple that we saw on Monday. A pretty big amount, you already know. Moving on, what we saw on Monday turned into something very exciting. And I'm sure you guys know what happened if you watch my final replays. But if not, I'll write a short spotlight about what happened. We saw a great run out, started off on a very good note, but then we saw a whole shakeout, which has of course had an effect on the crypto markets. However, looking at the price of XRP, as I said, it ended up being above $40 by Tuesday morning. Without a question, the best quote is 42 cents, which is down 4.7% in USD, but up 0.5% in Bitcoin. And the market cap is about $81 billion in the 24-hour trading range, as of 11.6 billion. But before we go into any more of the same, I want to make it clear that nothing on this channel is meant to be taken as financial advice. When you invest in crypto, you should always do your own study and due diligence. We're going to go back to the rate, which, however, lets us see how their day seemed to them virtually. Because of this, I'm sure you guys understand. You understand the first and most important information tree. A $100 billion asset manager signs up in Delaware for a niche XRP ETF, and that definitely got a lot of people excited. This makes a lot of people happy. Then again, are we really shocked by that? Let's really talk about that. In case you read my posts every day, that's what I've been talking about. I also think that 2025 will be a year of many amazing events. You know about things in the crypto space that will get that ETF. Now you'll see companies like BlackRock. I wouldn't be shocked. You can be sure that these kinds of big asset managers will be interested in those big projects because people want them. And a way to reset, remember that reset. It's going to happen early next year for the whole set. This is going to be great. It will definitely be a big push for Ability Major ETF approval for multiple unique properties. Again, once a BlackRock statement comes out, you can be sure that it is BlackRock signing up for a niche ETF. Just think about what this will do to the charge, not even the claim itself. We haven't even talked about the ETF being allowed. There you have it. And I believe it will happen. Not only that, but it's coming faster than many people think, based on what we know about Bitcoin and Ethereum from the past. That's what makes sense. This is something I think will happen with XRP as well. But this is pretty cool to look at. And I feel like I need to share this with you guys. But let's take a look at the huge amount of money coming in first. So ETF moves around 440 Bitcoins were bought and 862 Ethereums were sold. Very interesting. Of course, you know that it kind of has something to do with the rate we're seeing now. So Ethereum is just getting a lot of net gains because it hasn't reached an all-time high yet. When Ethereum hit an all-time high, it set off a rise for all coins. I think the view has changed this time, though. We have already seen the likes of some of these other layer ones or application goods come off. Up to a certain point that not everyone expected. So I think it's safe to say that the landscape is changing. On the other hand, I guess from an investment point of view, Ethereum not being able to reach an all-time high has a number of people talking. In any case, though, let's move on. As you can see, a Canadian health company has agreed to a plan to give the Treasury 1 million Bitcoin. Lauren E. Cap, CEO of Give Technology, said that the flow of Bitcoin to the Treasury is a one-of-a-kind chance to strengthen our Treasury with a secure and up-to-date investment. This is happening all over the place in a big way. Again, it doesn't really surprise me, but it does. Let me kind of skip over what Ron says. As you know, this week has been crazy in Congress and crypto. Everyone is wondering what will happen with crypto in 25, 24, or 25 years. While the situation is always changing, there are a few things that have been happening in DC over the past few weeks that show what to expect from them. This is the modern we see. Just to tell you, everything in DC, you know that committees delayed January confirmations and reintroducing bills are all facing a price range fight that will likely take up most of their time in the first few months of their paintings. So something short term will almost certainly come from an official order or business. Just a friendly note to let you know that if you're looking for overnight changes at the start of 25, they won't happen there. It takes time. And even in the last 2.5 weeks, we've seen big traits come out, not just Brad Glinghouse, but also Gary Gensler's home, which is what many people wanted to happen and did. That being said, I think the view looks great, but let's go over what Ron says. RS knows they need to move quickly because the other person is really manipulative Congress, and the administration doesn't happen very often and only for a short time. Usually it takes years to find a party and start voting on payments and nominations. Things that they had been planning for months to happen can always go wrong. Early crypto-related nominations look good and don't seem to have much to do with the debate so far. The CC and the CFTC are still to come. Trump supporters have also been talking about capability gnomes behind closed doors for months. She knew about business, reactions, and input. So a big part of what was meant was that maximum could mean good quality. So you could kind of get a sense of what's going on. So I think 25 will be great looking forward to once it starts. You are hearing good information after hearing shocking news. That's not going to happen. Additionally, I believe I told you guys before, early next year, we do see a market flush. That's what I think will happen. Even though Trump is president and the whole business is clearly changing, I'm sure that doesn't mean there won't be a shakeup. However, that doesn't mean that people won't lock in gains. That's why you need an exit strategy. If you don't have an exit plan, you'll most likely be stuck behind the curve of moving forward. Monica clearly takes a moment to talk about that statement about our checks that came from the relationship with Ripple. So stay on the XRP ledger and get access to the $3 billion liquidity fund that is tokenized through our checks. This is a huge step forward for XRPL, and it's the best example of collaboration at its finest with Ripple custody protecting our checks. And that's just the beginning. From my point of view, we'll see more. The people in charge of managing assets are looking at the XRP ledger and are likely tokenizing their assets on the ledger itself. Again, this is just interesting information, and this is another rumor that keeps showing up in the crypto business. People, especially in the XRP community, are talking about the fact that Donald Trump is reportedly considering Ripple CEO Brad Gillinghouse for the job of crypto czar. If you don't know what a crypto czar is, let's look that up. According to Bloomberg, the crypto czar will be the first person in the White House to have a job that is specifically related to crypto. Let that sink in for a moment. This new position could answer directly to the president and will be in charge of coordinating coverage across the federal government. Should that happen, it would be huge. But that makes you wonder what would have happened if Brad Gillinghouse had wanted to step down. Obviously, that's something I want you to let me know in the comments below. You may be wondering why he would want to quit as CEO of Serapo because of a possible conflict of interest. Feel free to tell me in the comments what you think will help us check the fee. You know that the last 24 hours have been pretty interesting for Bitcoin. We see a real wake all the way up to 59.17%, but it's going backwards all the way down to 58.69%. If you're looking at BTC right now, you know that Bitcoin has done something very, very interesting. So the start, and I did say this in my other opto, but I'll type it out and make you guys a little more visible. So it's clear that some experts did notice this bar sample formation on the hourly time frame. That's mostly a sign that prices are going down. And guess what? Bitcoin fees are now rising.